celebrate the cultural arts champions here in our community, the Brighton Cultural Arts Commission created the Excellence in Arts Awards. Take a listen as we talk one-on-one with the winners for 2021. Sydney, congrats on your winning of the category of Master of Cultural Arts in Education. You are an art teacher. So I want to start with one of the quotes from your students, and it reads in part, "Vanderwall is an amazing art teacher. She's more than just an art teacher. She never holds back students' creative ability and encourages non-art students to try art even if it isn't their strongest subject." So hearing of these kind words from your students, what goes through your head?
I think art is an expression, and everybody has the ability to express. And that's how I encourage everyone just to put down what they feel or they think. It doesn't matter what it looks like because it's still personal and it's still part of you. And that's what art is something coming out of you and being exposed and everyone else being able to see what's inside.
And one of the coolest classes that you teach is this dark art class. Talk about what exactly that entails.
I teach in an amazing school. A lot of students have a lot of things going on in their lives, and I really wanted to encourage everyone to be part of it. So I started a class that has social emotional, depression, anxiety, identity, conflict. The counselors come in on one day and deliver very safe and very boundary-filled ideas and things to give them choices if they need more help or expressions. And so then we see the art around the world about like identity, and we look at all that from all over, and then the kids get to draw and they get to put down on paper whatever they want, whether it's charcoal and they're just smashing it and smearing it and whatever they want. They can have some students burn their paper. It definitely has an outlet for them, and then they have someone to actually talk to if there's something inside that really triggered or hurt them, or just something to get rid of and maybe just express it. So it's a great class. Every kid loves it. Every kid's capable. Every human's capable of talking about those dark things, those feelings inside, and putting them down. And it's a great avenue. And I know that's how I let go, is putting it down on paper. So students have found a real good release in that. And everything is accepted, whether it's really scary. And if it's really scary, we have counselors talk and help. If it's not, then that's great. But no matter what it is, it's important to be able to know that, like my student said, whatever you want to put is good, it's good, and that's important.
So ultimately, as an arts educator, what is the impact that you want to have on your students?
Everybody has something to say, everybody's valid, everybody is important, and no matter what you're thinking, it should have a stage. Someone should respect it and identify you and see you, when that's really missing in a lot of the world today, even in education. And that's what I want my kids to know, that when they express, it's valued, it's cherished, and it's honored, and identify them. So that's the purpose behind my art. It's all about expression.
And lastly, Sydney, as one of the 6 winners for the 2021 Excellence in Arts Awards, what are your thoughts as a winner?
I'm overwhelmed, I'm grateful, I'm humble. Obviously you do what you do because you love it, but it's always great when somebody notices. So thank you.
All right, Stephanie, you have lived across the globe. Just to name a few, you were born and raised in Wichita, Kansas. You lived in Europe, England, Germany, many other cities later. You decided to retire in Brighton. So through all those moves, art kind of remained your constant and your favorite. So can you tell us about that evolution and how it led to working with glass today?
Well, I think the evolution started probably when I was a kid, and I lived in the country out on a farm, and anything I could get my hands on to draw, I was just drawing on everything. And my neighbors would come over and they'd say, "Well, you're quite the artist," and I would like, "Oh no, I'm not." You know, it took me a very long time, and not until I got to Brighton and got involved in the art community, as particularly Main Street Creatives, could I own that part of me and say, I'm an artist? It took quite the time to own it.
And now your art is displayed at Main Street Gallery, correct?
Yes, yeah, primarily fused glass art. I do have a studio there, so I also oil paint, and I'm getting involved in pastel work, so I keep that in my studio. That's where I show that work.
And lastly, your specific award recognizes an individual who has devoted time and service to enhance the cultural experience in Brighton for the community. Why is that important to you?
I just feel like giving back is important. I think from a very young age, I got something from being of service, even if it was in parochial school, being the one that got to put the bulletin board up in the hallway. I felt very proud that I could participate. And I just feel like whatever community I live in, I want to give back to the community. And also I'm like, okay, I got an award for not being able to say no, because I say yes to everything. So I've been on the Art Awareness Committee. I've been on helping out with the artist salons that happen quarterly by contacting the artist and providing the information they need to come to Brighton. I'm currently on the Brighton Cultural Arts Committee and also the Public Art Committee, which I find really satisfying. It's just fun to be kind of a part of that grassroots of getting the art in Brighton being shown. And I'm on the Brighton Parks and Rec Committee, which works really nicely with our public art. So I am just busy, and I spend a lot of time at Main Street Creatives and have been very much involved in volunteering there too.
And lastly, as one of the 2021 Excellence in Arts Awards winners, what is your reaction?
Well, I was very humbled. I was surprised, and it's very nice to be recognized. But I just do what I do because I love to do it. So it's just nice to be part of this group of people that won an award this year.
Okay, Joe, you are a cultural arts champion when it comes to the category of Master of Fine Arts. First, what does it mean to you to win this award?
Oh, I was really humbled, and I was really excited to find out that I had won this award. It's been a long road, and self-publishing isn't easy. Publishing is the easy part. Marketing has been more than I ever expected, so it felt good to be recognized.
And so tell us about kind of the impact your vision has had on your writing.
I've been used to using all of my senses, and so I think in a way, not having my sense of sight has been good training, because I can include a lot of other details of hearing and smell and touch and feelings, and then I can include a few visual details and let the reader use his or her imagination. And a lot of the well-known writers, Stephen King and others, have said just include a few details and let readers use their imaginations. So it's a good act to follow. So I have never had, well, I had one editor tell me a few places in my novel where I needed to include a few more visual details than I did. But for the most part, my lack of sight has not hampered me as a writer, I don't believe. Now, as a marketer, some sighted people have been surprised that I could write books, but as an author, it has never really gotten in my way.
And you've published 3 books so far. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what you hope people take away from your storytelling?
My first book is a novel, The Bright Side of Darkness. It's about some kids that navigate their way through the projects and a mentor that ends up helping. My second book is a memoir. It's called Daddy Won't Let Mom Drive the Car, True Tales of Parenting in the Dark. And my third book is another memoir called Apples of Gold, Apples of Gold, Timely Advice When the World Doesn't Seem Lovely. And my big takeaway from writing is hope. It's about the fact that people have the capacity to be positive in whatever situation they're in, and that they may not be able to change outward circumstances, but they have the choice of how to react to those circumstances, at least in their own mental space and their own ability to control what they choose to do and think. So that's kind of the main theme, overarching theme of what I tend to write about.
Wonderful, and we see Spreckles, by your side, so patiently waiting. Tell us about her impact on your writing and your books.
I've had 4 dogs. I've had dogs since 1993, and dogs help me be an independent person and get where I need to go. My first and second ones helped me commute when I was working in downtown Denver, and my third one helped me raise my daughter. And then I retired my third one at the beginning of the pandemic, and I had to wait for Spreckles till this last July because of COVID. So I was really glad when she came into my life just a few months ago. And she's young and ready to go, so we'll be off on some new adventures. She's only 2 years old and 2.5, and so I can't wait to see what trouble we get into.
All right, Wilma, congratulations. You have won the Visionary category. First off, what are your thoughts on winning this award?
Well, I was surprised. I mean, I'm honored that they would choose me for Visionary, and I feel that that is not just my award, but so many other people that I've worked with in our community for arts and culture over the years. I'm on several committees that are super people that just are so dedicated to seeing that our arts and culture is continued in the city of Brighton. So surprised but honored, and I'm thankful that I've had so many people that have supported me over the years.
And when you talk about being involved in the community, just to name a few, you're a past city council member, president of the Brighton Public Art Committee, a member of the Sculpture on Loan Committee, the list goes on and on. Why is it so important for you to be so involved in the community?
Well, and it's kind of trite to say, I want to give back, but also I want to make sure our community continues to improve and get better for the community members that live here, and also people who come and visit, to be able to show that Brighton has so much to offer, and especially in our arts and cultural areas. This wonderful building here, the Armory, to me this is just a dream come true for our community, because when I came here 42 years ago, many of these things were not available. In fact, I was an exercise instructor for a little while for Parks and Rec, and we met in the North Elementary, the old North Elementary gym, because they didn't have a Parks and Rec building or gym. So all of those things have been accomplished over the years. And I hope that I've been able to be helpful in getting those things done. And I think the improvement that it brings is tremendous. It makes for the well-being of the whole community.
And since you are so involved, can you maybe state one thing that you think is really what makes the difference of the Brighton arts community that maybe people don't know about?
Well, we've just implemented a new committee called the Public Art Committee, and that's from the Cultural Arts Commission. And we have been working diligently, even though we've had the COVID pandemic that kept us from meeting, but we still met through the Zoom. But we've been able to accomplish a lot just in the last 3 years. We've been able to place 8 different sculptures throughout the community. And so those are accomplishments I feel that the committee has really worked hard to, even though we've had some setbacks with the ability to do some of those things, we've really been able to move forward. And I think it's overall, the arts make everybody feel better. And it takes a lot of different types of art so that it speaks to different people. But I think it's just one of those areas that people look forward to. And so often in our schools, we see arts and that taken out of our schools because of funding. And so I think then the community has to step up and push more for those types of things, availability for all our community members.
And you spoke about leaving the local arts community better than before. What is the impact that you specifically, Wilma, hope to leave?
Well, right now we're working on a 5-year plan for the Public Art Committee. And so I'm hoping that in 5 years I can look back and see that we accomplished at least half or 3/4 of what we're planning now. We are pretty ambitious with what we're hoping to do, but I really think that a lot of that can be done in the next 5 years. So I feel that I'm part of that push to keep that going. And so that's what I'm hoping, that in 5 years I can travel around Brighton and see many of the things that the commission and the committee have accomplished.
Okay, Dolly, you're a founding member at the Platte Valley Players Board of Directors. You were there since the beginning and have done so much since. And I know you like to be considered more of a behind-the-scenes player, but tell us about all your contributions.
Well, I have been a secretary, president. Now I'm currently I'm the treasurer, but I've also worked as stage manager. And one time I really was an actor, but and that was a lot of fun.
And there's also the Silver Tongue Players. Tell us about that and your role, how you got involved. And it's my understanding you also find the plays, correct?
Right. The Silver Tongue Players are a group of actors from the senior center. And I got involved by, I received an email once from a colleague of mine who said that the senior center was looking for someone who would do readers' theater. In readers' theater, the actors use their script, and they use a script instead of regular actors who perform without a script. And this helps those people who love acting, but really can't really depend on their memory anymore. So it's a lot of fun for them. They get up to perform in front of people. And so anyway, I've been doing this for about 10 years, I guess.
And kind of looking at both the Platte Valley Players and the Silver Tongue Players, you seem to step up to any role to make either a success. Why is that important to you?
I enjoy the arts. I always have. And when I retired and moved to Colorado, I wanted to volunteer for something. And an opportunity presented itself, and I jumped at it. So I first joined Platte Valley Players, our community theater here in Brighton, and then about a couple of years later, the Silver Tongue Players of the Senior Center.
And also, you live just outside of Brighton, but you consider Brighton your home. Kind of tell us why.
I love the community here. The people are so friendly. It's just wonderful, and it's not a huge, sprawling metropolis. It's just wonderful.
And Dolly, lastly, you won the Beyond Brighton Award. So tell us, what does that mean to you to be one of the 2021 Excellence in Awards winners?
I'm telling you, I was so surprised when I received the call. I mean, I was almost speechless. So it means a great deal to me.
Hey guys, my apologies. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person to accept this award. To the other nominees and winners, congratulations, and to the City of Brighton, I thank you for this honor. As you may or may not know, I've been battling COVID for the last couple of weeks. I'm on the mend, but it's definitely been pretty rough, and my doctor advised me not to travel. I'm trying to figure out, how do I sum up my life in just a few short minutes, my life and my career? And I don't know that I can do it justice, but I'll give it a shot. So let's start from the top. My name is Christopher Charles Romero. I'm an actor, writer, director, producer, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, abstract artist, photographer, father, husband, and grandfather. Those last three titles being my favorite for sure. I was born in Denver, Colorado. We moved to Brighton in the early 70s, right before I started kindergarten. I went to South Elementary, Vacon Junior High, and I graduated from Brighton High School in 1986. Looking back at what the City of Brighton means to me and how I feel it's shaped my life and my career, growing up in a small town, it definitely had some challenges. And I think I say that because I was a bit rebellious. So obviously when you know everybody, there's no getting away with anything there. But that's one thing I loved about that community, because you had your family, your friends, your parents, your teachers, your peers to keep you in check and keep an eye on you when you were not maybe making some good decisions. And so that sense of community, I think, is a beautiful thing to have, and I hope it's continuing today. Some of my favorite memories, the 4th of July's, the bonfires on homecoming, the Friday night lights, the wrestling tournaments, those are great memories. And just, hanging out with my friends and listening to music and playing music when we were in high school was a pretty big deal for us and an exciting time. I've had the opportunity to write music for TV and film. I've worked in front of the camera, behind the camera. It's been an amazing journey so far. Like I said, I can't believe that I'm working in this industry that I love so much. And I think it's proof that if you set your mind to something, you can do anything you want to do. So to the City of Brighton, to Gary Montoya, to Dave Gallegos, thank you for thinking of me and thank you for this honor. And no matter where I end up, whether it's New York, LA, wherever, the East Coast or here in Nashville, no matter where I go, Brighton will always be my home, and I'm grateful for that. So again, I thank you for this award.